everyone, welcome back to life after Neverland. We're at my friend's ranch, so anything goes, and I think there's going to be a horse. Hey, this is going to be a fun vlog and also a very thought-provoking vlog. Let's put it that way. So thanks for joining us. We're just going to react today to what Dallas said in regards to, sorry the flies, all of the hoopla. And so we felt like we wanted to respond because that's what we were waiting for, and so I'm going to let Shawn take the lead.
Well, so we're responding to the video that Dallas just put out this morning, and if you go on his, on the Chosen YouTube channel, he has his video. It's about a 20-minute long video breaking down his, I don't want to say defense, but I guess it is defense, but he basically is saying if you want to be mad at us, that's fine, but just understand the facts before you're mad at us. And then he laid out his stance, which it's his product, it's his production, and he has every right to have whatever stance he wants to have. Like he said, he's a libertarian. He believes in free enterprise and running your business the way you want to run it. And I think that's where he clarifies the disconnect between us and a lot of people like us and the Chosen, because we've always viewed the Chosen as a ministry and as something that is created to bring people to Christ. And we all supported that. And it's one of the best Christian television series that's ever been produced. The quality, the actors, the story writing, it's amazing. And that's why we've been huge fans of it. And that's why we were really shocked by Dallas's explanation in his video. And there's a lot to unpack and a lot to unravel. So I'm going to start there because I think that's the biggest point that he made. He said that The Chosen is not a ministry. It is not a Christian production. It is a for-profit corporation that he's running the way that he's always said he's going to run it. And if we were in charge, we could run it the way we want to run it. But since it's him and it's his business, this is the way he's choosing to run his business. I supported The Chosen because I love their ministry. And then I just found out it's not a ministry. And it's never been a ministry. As a viewer, I'm really kind of shocked by it because you're going to say that this is not a ministry, and I think that's kind of a cop-out. It cleanses you of all of the persecution that the Chosen's currently under by hiding behind that statement. In some capacity, it is a ministry. You're preaching God's word through a different medium, and then you're following it up with study guides, Bibles, devotionals. Corinne brought all of her.
And there's currently 3 study guides. And I'm covering them on my channel.
We've actually taken our channel and devoted it to The Chosen.
And that's the reason why we wanted to address this, because, that's where our channel has decided to put all of its focus and support and kind of build upon that ministry, or at least what we thought was a ministry.
In the beginning of Dallas's video, he said, I'm sure you guys, and I'm speaking to you, not all these people on social media that are saying this stuff, I'm talking to you. We're one and the same. The people that are posting these videos and the people that you're talking to directly, we're the same people. Yeah, there are some clickbait people out there, but that's not the majority of the people that are frustrated right now. They're people like us. We're voicing our concern about not only the situation, but then the things that have happened since then. He came out and said that the people that are posting these videos of frustration are strangers to The Chosen, and they're just doing clickbait. That's not true. We're not strangers.
I feel like there's this surface level discussion, which is what I feel Dallas was covering, things that are surface level. The things that the strangers, in my personal opinion, The Chosen family, meaning fans who support them, lift them up and build upon what they are doing because we really believe in what they're doing, okay? We feel slapped in the face, rejected. It's gone way beyond where we were kind of confused as to why something that is a culture war, okay? We're in a culture war. War. That is the word, okay? Meaning that people are battling right now on 2 levels, Christianity and the opposing side of things. People who don't believe in that at all. And because this show symbolizes more Christianity than the opposite, people had questions, people were confused, and the reaction from the actors on Twitter is something that really blew my mind. I couldn't believe it because, you know, it is for profit. But before it became that, wasn't it a more like a nonprofit? We don't know what their business dealings are behind the scenes, but people were spending a lot of money in The Chosen. We were invested. He was also talking about investors. Well, weren't the fans investing their time, their money, I mean, for me, like when I create a vlog, it takes a lot. I do the editing. I don't have a support system behind me other than Shawn, but I do the editing. I do all of that. I take time away from my husband. I take time away from my family, and I do that because I really believe in what Dallas is doing, and I just was really hurt by some of the things I was hearing him say.
So his defense is that they are not a church, they are not a ministry. Their production is strictly a production, and they run independently. There's no rules as to working for them. You have to be a certain religion, you have to be a certain political affiliation. There's atheists that work on the site, and at the end of the video, actually, he said we should be thanking them for creating The Chosen. I think he's missing the point. It's not about who's working on your staff. Like, he thinks people are frustrated because the camera guy has, you know, his own personal sexual orientation, and what, like, no one cares. Everyone knows people that are gay or are liberal or are, like, we all have different, that's a personal journey and that's a personal thing. That's not what people are all up in arms of. It's the acceptance and the defense on something that has such a huge polarizing platform. You can say all you want that's how The Chosen chooses to operate, but it's not going to take away from your biggest supporters, which is going to be a faith-based fan base. There's a lot of people right now that are like confused. You got to listen to that, because Dallas is saying that this is a business, for-profit, independent business. Okay, even corporations have stockholders, they have boards of trustees, they have people that they have to at least listen to because they financially support the product. So in the beginning, which we were there for, Corinne was one of the very first people covering The Chosen on YouTube. In the very beginning, when The Chosen started, they were very, I don't want to say aggressive, but about getting funding from its fan base. If you want to see the next episode, please donate.
Proactive.
Yeah, they were very proactive in getting funding from us because the next episode depended on it. The next season depended on it. We need donations. And then even in the very beginning, like, you had to wait to see The Chosen unless you were a contributor. You got first access to it. And then now that's not the case because now they've received the funding. You know, they're very well funded now, and now they're able to do bigger productions, do bigger things.
So do they not need us anymore?
But in season 1, in the very beginning, they were just like any business. They relied on the fans to support the ministry. It's a ministry, even if you say it's not. And we did because we supported the Christian beliefs and the fact that this show is so well produced and it's going to bring people to Christ. It's a ministry, and that's what people gave their money for.
That's what I thought it was about.
And so turning around and saying, this isn't a ministry, this is a for-profit, well, guess what? Your stockholders are not happy with this. And it's not about a camera guy having a pride flag on his backpack.
On the surface. That's on the surface.
That was a snowball at the top of a mountain that got pushed. It's everything that's transpired since then, up and including Dallas's response to all this. It just got worse and worse and worse. Because first of all, he said there was no flag, it was a patch. No, there was a flag. There's a video of a flag. And so at that point, you're like, every fan is like, why on the production set is it necessary to like promote your pride when you're working on a faith-based TV series? But guess what? When you own a company and you're the face of the company, it all falls on you. I own 2 companies, and I have an independent contractor, 1099, that works for me. When he goes out and does a job for me, I know he's representing me and my brand. The things he says, the way he drives, his social media content, all that reflects me and my brand. So you can say it's an independent contractor all you want. That's not how the world works.
I don't know who he thinks that he's speaking to. Like, it's frustrating to me to think like that we're all like just completely ignoramuses here. If someone in his business, and same thing when I had mine, makes a mistake, it does fall on your shoulders, and you have to deal with it. And you are basically the person that's going to get all the downfall for all of the choices that your employees make. So, for example, with me, when I had teachers at my dance studio, they were held at the same standard as whatever my mission statement is, whatever it was that I was trying to build. And believe it or not, I've had almost every single one of my teachers, if they weren't exactly how I was always hearing about it. And my clients were giving me a really hard time and making my life really difficult if any of my teachers didn't live up to the same exact standards that I did. And I can't control that. That is true. However, I have to address it with them. I can't let them spit in my clients' faces. And that is what I feel is happening right now. And I did not enjoy Dallas's response to that, because when we were talking about the cameraman with the flag, there is a video out there. I mean, it's happening. This is social media. This is what happens with social media, unfortunately. It is happening, where he was actually rubbing the flag situation in people's face. He was. It's, if you look on our community posts, I posted that video.
He's spinning in a circle, and at the very end of it, he like quickly goes over to his pride flag, like just to rub it in everyone's face. Really,
again, it doesn't matter. Like, please don't look at things on the surface. It's the point of what he's doing and how he's doing it. It comes off egotistical. It comes off condescending. It comes off rude to people who have been supportive of this brand. It has gone on a whole different level at this point.
And I think Dallas saying, if you ran The Chosen, you would run it your own way. I'm running The Chosen, and I'm running it my way. And
it's totally fine. He
basically said, I'll go to war for anyone that works on this, and we should be thanking them, and I fully support them. And I
don't thank them when they're calling people homophobics. I don't support that.
Well, so you're responding to something different than what people are frustrated about. I don't think anyone is frustrated that you have a gay camera guy. I would hire a gay inspector. I don't care. That's
his personal life. We've said that so many times, and I need to make that very clear. We have said that lots of times. Jonathan Rumi, I don't care what his biblical choices are, because I'm not watching Jonathan Rumi. I'm watching The Chosen. He's Jesus on The Chosen. And the young men who wrote the music, I love their music. It's beautiful. I enjoy it very much. What they do in their private time is none of my business. I honestly don't care, and I haven't lost any respect for any of those men. The only time I'm losing respect is when they're taking something that's hurting the clients of The Chosen, because they've been so supportive. This is totally different than this TV show shirt that I'm wearing right now, Supernatural. It's totally different. And Supernatural isn't making these types of things for their fans, okay? And then when the cameraman then doubles down and starts mocking in a way, it's just not even Christian behavior at this point. It's not.
And then you add on the social media responses where the actors came out in support of the camera guy, which you guys obviously on set have a bond. You're a family. I get that. We don't have that bond.
Awesome.
Because we don't know it on a personal level. We don't know these people. But you still have to know between professionally what's appropriate and what's not appropriate. And going on social media, blasting a Christian-based fan base and saying you're homophobic, you're bigots, and you can get the hell out of here, basically.
Wow, that really bothered me.
You're saying that to your chosen fan base that have supported financially. Yes. And if you go back 5 or 6 videos, we were supporting The Chosen when another controversy happened, because we didn't think it was The Chosen's fault. We have been so supportive of The Chosen up until this situation.
When they started attacking their fans.
You're going to attack your fan base? Because, listen, my father was a preacher. I was raised in a Christian household. If I'm going to go on a platform, a faith-based platform, however you want to dissect it and say it's not, it is a faith-based platform, and you're going to call the supporters homophobic? For most people, it was on a scale from 1 to 10, it was a 2 or 3 when they saw the pride flag. Wait, what? Why is there a pride flag on The Chosen set? The responses from the actors on social media shot it up to a 10.
I need that to be addressed, and I don't feel like Dallas is really addressing that. That was the problem for me, and I lose respect. See, the problem is I'm losing respect for the actors, not Jonathan Rumi. I don't think he said anything at all. And it's sad because all of this hard work that these actors and the crew are doing, yeah, it's going to fall by the wayside. Unfortunately, because this is not, what you were addressing, Dallas, is not the problem. It's a surface level. For example, he was saying, we are not branding the pride and everything. No, Dallas, you're not. But the problem is, and you mentioned yourself about a culture war, the problem is that you're feeding it, unfortunately. And everybody wants to feel safe with The Chosen. Like, people need to be uplifted right now. There's a lot of divide, there's a lot of hate, there's a lot of anger, and we go to The Chosen because we don't feel that way with The Chosen. I feel uplifted. Someone said in my comment section that, well, how dare you say these things because The Chosen has made me cry, meaning The Chosen has touched my heart. I know, me too. And to see these things happen by the people that I'm watching on the show, for example, Little James. Every time I look at Little James, I'm going to think of that actor. I'm not going to look at Little James. I'm not going to be thinking about the message that Little James is saying and the message that The Chosen is saying. I'm going to be thinking about this. You understand? That's what I'm saying about a brand. If I did anything to ruin my brand and it got as big as this, you have to understand that people are going to look at you like at that. They're going to see that unless it's fully addressed. Am I making sense here?
Yeah. And basically, I think what this makes me think of with what you're saying is, Dallas said at one point in his video, we are a for-profit business, and I have to keep that in mind. So I think what he's saying without saying it is, if he came out and took a stance against it, I think he's afraid of the backlash. By saying that it's just noise and it's just strangers of the show, both online and offline, we're talking to people of the show, and a lot of people feel this way. So you can downplay it and say it's noise and strangers of the show, but it's not. It's your core fan base that's split right now.
I get it when Dallas is saying, I shouldn't have to shift or move because people are upset with me, because he's just going to drive himself crazy, and he has to stay true to himself. And I respect that so much. You have to try to figure out what's more important to you. If people have been supportive of you, and you can take a look at it and you can say, okay, I can understand that they're upset because the actors are like doubling down on this and they're spitting in their face. This is a Christian show. I can understand why some of the Christians are confused by this because it's not biblical, and so we were confusing them. And then just address it and the problem will be solved. But instead, what I feel like is happening is it's kind of putting the blame on us, that we're being out of line and we're being unreasonable, and that is feeding the demon. You understand what I'm saying? This is the problem. That Christians are so much right now being pushed down, being spit at in their face. They are. That is part of the war. And I mean, that's why I said before, maybe he's too busy because he's, it's a lot of responsibility. He's got a lot on his plate. He probably doesn't have a lot of time, and this is just exhausting to him, and we get that. But what it appears to us is that Lionsgate and all the profit that's coming in, and it's not trying to be rude, like the strangers and making the comments about your fans that are making clickbait. They're not. And maybe they do need to get people's attention. I don't know, because I'm not them, but they're passionate about it because you involved us in your product. You asked us to help. And so now we are investors in, or were investors in your product. And I think that warrants you considering our feelings in a compassionate, loving way. And just, I guess that's the best way I can articulate it.
And just, I don't want to say playing dumb or staying neutral and be like, hey, we're just an independent production. The product speaks for itself. But no, your actions speak for themselves.
But when you have a business, isn't your heart, what's behind your heart and what's behind the reason why you're doing it, what makes it so wonderful and amazing? Because now that just got taken away from me. Like, it's literally just a blank, it's just a, okay, I'm going to be honest, like, if there's no passion behind the Lord and no love for Jesus and the Word and your fan base that are Christian, because it is a Christian show, and you are making ministry products that you're selling, that we're paying for, and we're spending our time being fishermen of men, because that's the message that your show brings out, and that's not important to you.
And that's exactly what I was...
I don't know what to say.
And that's exactly what I was just saying a second ago, is you can say the show speaks for itself, but the actions of those incorporated the show also play part in things. And you can say it doesn't. They're independent contractors like any other film set. No, this isn't any other film set. This isn't Supernatural. This isn't the news. Like, this is a TV show that is leading the way for speaking out for Jesus. And people are going to be very passionate about that. And yes, the people on set and on their social medias, you don't want to police that, and you want them to have a safe, to be themselves. But that, unfortunately, reflects on the brand of The Chosen. You cannot separate The Chosen Inc., Dallas, and everyone who works for you in separate categories. For your viewers and for people who, everything's in the same stew pot, and that's just business. Like, that's just the world of business. In every industry, every company I've worked for, your social media presence was something that was watched. At one point, I worked at a mortgage company, and my job was to watch the social media of all the loan officers, because if anyone said anything that reflected negatively on the industry or the business or was incorrect information, they had to immediately take it down, to the point where, like, we had people who either had to delete their Facebook accounts or find another job because of the things that they were posting, political.
I don't know why it's unreasonable for people to be confused about how your staff is being disrespectful to your product, but then also your clients love Jesus. Like, they love Jesus. And so when they see that, they feel like that's slapping him in the face. So I'm confused as to why you're confused about that. I'm confused, and I'm saying that to Dallas. I'm confused as to why you don't respect that. And then just address it. Like really address that. But instead, it's like, you guys do this, just accept it. I don't care what you guys think. I don't do what I do because of you. You don't do what you do because of us. Then why are you asking us to help? I guess we don't help anymore. That's what people are saying. That's why they're frustrated. It's like, I've given my life, pieces of me, to you. And you have said, #ChosenFamily. You'll go to war for your family that works on the set, but you won't go to war for us. I don't even expect you to go to war for me. I just want you to understand and listen and be respectful of it. I don't want to be rude and disrespectful to Dallas. I don't. But I'm going to give you a couple examples really quick, okay? Because this is the reality that I live in. When Shawn and I, we started our channel, we used to work at Disney. We worked at Tokyo Disney. Now, a whole nother country that has a whole different culture and a value system, different than America. I have tattoos. I didn't have as many before. I only had one little teeny tiny tattoo right here on my back hip, a butterfly. And as I was auditioning and I wanted that job so bad, the Japanese came to me and said, "You have a tattoo. We don't like that." I had a choice to make. And you know what I said? This job is so important to me. If it's between me getting the job and not getting the job, I will remove this tattoo. And by the grace of God, I got the job. Why? Because I was being respectful to them. I wasn't saying, no, if I can't have my tattoo, forget you. And that's kind of the way things go these days. And that's not the way I was raised, I guess.
Well, that's what I don't understand it. Because before I saw Dallas's video this morning, I empathize with his position. Because it's a lose-lose situation. You're going to upset one side or the other. And this like super political, like this super cultural war that we're in right now, outside of The Chosen. The Chosen, unfortunately, just got thrusted into it. And
if they would have kept it on the hush, then this wouldn't be happening.
I saw comments when I was looking underneath Dallas's video of people saying just this, like, this could be the straw that breaks people's backs. Yeah. Because in every other facet of our lives, there's this war going on, and now it just filtered into The Chosen, and then The Chosen, instead of coming out saying, "Yeah, that was probably poor taste. We'll talk to our production team and, you know, make sure they keep in mind the audience and that we're serving with our videos."
Nothing wrong with that.
And then in Dallas's video, he said we should flip it and think about situations where Christians are in a situation where they can't outright show their Christian faith. My response would be, I wouldn't put myself in that situation. If I'm super passionate about something, which for me it's God, for your camera guy it's his pride, I would not be in a situation where I would be, by me being outright about my faith, would be contradicting to the project that I'm working on. I wouldn't work on the project, just for my own personal convictions. the camera guy, if he could love God and be gay. There's that, there's not a line there. But he should at least understand that in the Bible, and most people that follow the Bible are not going to be understanding of that lifestyle. So maybe it's good to kind of keep that on the down low instead of like displaying it and using the platform of The Chosen to get his message out. If you just listen to his video, yeah, okay, it's your production, you run it, it's atheists, different political people, everyone come together to create The Chosen. We should be thankful of their hard work, and we should enjoy The Chosen. We agree with all that. It's how everything else is handled that's got us asking questions, and then lack of an empathetic response.
Ever since the world is turned upside down, I'm speaking reality here, you guys. The world is literally turned upside down, and conservatives, Christians aren't able to speak their mind without getting treated horribly. And now some of the staff, actual, like, legitimate actors on the show, not just, extras, these people are saying mean things to conservative Christians that follow the show, have loved the show, and have supported the show. That should have been way more addressed than anything else, because that, and even this guy, John Root, whatever, who kind of started this whole fire, he's getting a big smackdown. I feel like that's very backwards. And that's why people have a problem with this. This is why I said in the last, this cultural war, the other side is getting a lot of power. And they can laugh and mock and shoot mean, honestly, hateful things to conservatives and Christians, and they're not held accountable for it at all. And this is a problem. And this is why none of us want The Chosen to be involved in this, because when the world is dark and evil, hurtful and painful, we can sit down at night with our families and we can watch The Chosen and we can think about Jesus. And now when I watch it, honestly, it feels tainted to me, because I feel like the backing behind it is no longer what I thought it was. I thought it was a beautiful thing. I thought the person behind it really, was everything that he's saying he's not.
The messenger is important when receiving a message.
He's saying that he's not a ministry. He's putting his hands up and saying flat out, and that's what I said in my last video. It matters what Dallas says. He says he is not a ministry. And tomorrow I have my Bible study for one of these books.
And just to answer,
sad.
And answer one of Dallas's questions, he said, "What is a Christian production?" A Christian production is not hiring only Christians. A Christian production is having morals and ethics set for anyone that works on the set that matches the moral and ethics of The Chosen's brand and their vision.
Regardless of their personal whatever. Mm-hmm. No one's saying that in fact, it's so sad because we don't even know the camera guy. I need you guys to look at the deeper issue, and I think the only people that are truly gonna, and this might be wrong of me to say, but are really gonna understand and grasp what I'm saying are the people that are being affected by it. If you're not being affected by it, then you're gonna get what Dallas said, because it's very, very, very surface level response.
So my takeaway is, this is not a ministry. We are not trying to save people. This is just
We're not trying to save people.
This is just a production that happens to be about Christ.
That hurts me.
And everything else doesn't matter. And that's not how we feel. So
and the biggest thing is, okay, I'm going to leave you with this. And I know this from the people that I follow that have made videos similar to mine, and they're very passionate about it, and they're saying that they don't want to watch The Chosen anymore, is because they're looking at what's happening in this world right now, and they are trying to bring people into the Lord's kingdom. If you understand the Bible and you know what's going on in the world right now, what this cultural war actually means, then you know that it's so important for people to be a part of the Lord's kingdom, for people to be saved. And The Chosen is saying that they're not trying to be fishermen of men. Am I wrong? Did I miss that?
Well, when he said it's not a ministry, it's not a Christian production, and they're not trying to be a church, they're just trying to put together a TV show, it just really watered down the whole message for me, personally.
Because I really loved The Chosen, because I really thought that they were a fisherman of men, and the writing, the directing, everything is so beautiful. I mean, you have a platform where you really could be saving people. At the end of the day, when you put your head on your pillow at night, God is praising you, because imagine how many rewards you're going to get in heaven. I used to think that about Dallas. He's going to get so many rewards in heaven because he's going to be like, well done, my grateful, wonderful, amazing servant. You have brought this many people into the kingdom. Now, why would you ruin that? Why would you do that?
He said, they said things I wouldn't have said. Well, then there should be some sort of repercussion or some boundaries set with your staff because you just admitted that you never would have said that. Which means you don't stand, you don't agree, you don't stand along, but you respect...
But they represent you, Dallas.
But you respect their personal platforms. Well, their personal platform just took a big poop on your clients. That should matter to you.
And so at the end of the day, that message to me meant that what God's mission is for us is not important to Dallas. The person who is the creator and the vision behind the chosen. That is what I got from that, you guys. And that does change a lot of things for me. I'm going to keep doing my Bible studies because it's about Jesus. I actually think these Bible studies are really good, but it's going to be really hard for me to go as hard supporting something that really doesn't care about God that much, I guess. I don't know.
Well, Dallas cares about God, and the Chosen Inc. cares about God, but he's separating that from the entire production, and the rest of us aren't, and we can't. Like, in our brains, we can't do that because it's all part of the Chosen.
But when he says he's not a fisherman of men, I mean, he doesn't care what the Christians that have literally supported him think, because I really kind of felt like he was like being very condescending towards the people that said things, and I understand it's hurtful to him, it's his brand, but stand up for it, for goodness sakes. Stand up for it. Stand up for you and your mission statement and what it represents. Anyways, you guys, we've gone on and on and on about this. You know, listen, please be respectful in the comment section. We understand that everybody has a different opinion, and that is fine. That is completely fine. But I don't want people being hateful towards each other because that's not how we feel, and that's not where we're coming from.
No, we're just disappointed because we're passionate about the Chosen, and it's really made us sad.
This is basically what our channel is about. You know, it has moved towards supporting the Chosen. So that is why we're talking about it. But in the meantime, I'm going to continue doing Bible studies. We're going to finish up with my Chosen Bible studies. And I'm going to do more. So if you guys like Bible studies, you love the Lord, and you want to dive in deeper because you need it, because it makes you feel good, because this world is going crazy and you need something to help uplift you, well, please stick around and stay here. We do care about the things that are going on in the world right now, and we really want to make a difference. Okay? So have a blessed rest of your day. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you soon.